Touch the lake. Welcome to Tibet This Week, a weekly news on Tibet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the Central Tibetan Administration. Let us look at the headlines for today. His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the Central Tibetan Administration congratulate Shri Narendra Modi and NDA on winning the Lok Sabha elections. His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the Central Tibetan Administration congratulate Chief Ministers of Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. His Holiness the Dalai Lama conducts annual teachings for Tibetan youth. Gonpo reveals Beijing's conspiracy behind wrongful conviction of her brother Dorjee Tashi. His Holiness the Dalai Lama has written to Shri Narendra Modi to congratulate him and the National Democratic Alliance for their victory in the Lok Sabha elections. In his letter, His Holiness the Dalai Lama has expressed admiration and pride to see India upholding its responsibility as the world's largest democracy and expressed gratitude to the government and people of India for their hospitality, consistent generosity and kindness towards the Tibetan community, which has helped in preserving the ancient cultural heritage in exile, in peace and in freedom. His Holiness wished the leadership continued success in meeting challenges that may lie ahead in fulfilling the hopes and aspirations of the people of India. Sikkim of the Central Tibetan Administration in his letter attributed the electoral victory to the enduring trust and confidence reposed by the people of India in Modi's robust leadership and the NDA's commitment to the nation's progress. Besides expressing gratitude to the government and people of India for its long-standing support and hospitality extended towards the Tibetan people, Sikkim highlighted His Holiness's dedication to reviving ancient Indian knowledge and wisdom and expressed deep gratitude for the initiatives supported by the central and the state governments in this honorable mission. The Election Commission of India announced the Lok Sabha election results 2024 on Tuesday this week. The Bharatiya Janata Party emerged victorious on 240 out of 543 seats, while the Congress secured 99 seats. On Wednesday this week, the National Democratic Alliance NDA unanimously passed a resolution to elect Narendra Modi as their leader for the third time. Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party won 240 seats, falling short of the 272 needed for a majority in the lower house of parliament, which has 543 seats in total. With its allies, the BJP secured a majority, winning 293 seats. The opposition, the Indian National Developmental Inclusive Alliance, led by the Indian National Congress, won 232 seats, higher than exit polls had predicted. The new government is expected to be sworn in at the end of this week. His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the Sikkim of the Central Tibetan Administration have written to Pema Khandu, Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh, and Prem Singh Tamang, Chief Minister of Sikkim, to congratulate them both on their party's victory in the State Assembly elections. In their letters to the Chief Ministers, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the Sikkim have both expressed their confidence in the leadership of the Chief Ministers and acknowledged their instrumental roles in advancing the welfare and prosperity of the Tibetan community in their states. On Monday this week, His Holiness the Dalai Lama conducted the two-day annual teaching for Tibetan youth. His Holiness mentioned that the school children should develop the four types of wisdom: the great wisdom, deep wisdom, quick wisdom, and clear wisdom, and the ability to think logically. His Holiness also reiterated that the students should also learn how to analyze things besides reciting mantras. His Holiness the Dalai Lama commended the efforts being undertaken in schools and among lay people to learn through debate and said that the approach contributes to keeping the Tibetan culture and tradition alive. A crowd of about 5,500 had gathered in the temple and the courtyard. They included 1,800 foreigners from 57 countries. With students being the focus of two-day teachings, there were 900 students from Tibetan Children's Village, 161 college students and 40 young local Tibetans and 80 members from the Introduction to Buddhism class. The Office of His Holiness the Dalai Lama has disclosed His Holiness the Dalai Lama's travel to the United States for knee treatment. The announcement on the website mentioned there will be no public audiences from 20th June until further notice. In a video that surfaced recently, Gonpo, the sister of a Tibetan named Dorjee Tashi, who was arrested in 2008 by the Chinese police on suspicion of making donations to Tibetans in exile, is seen exposing Beijing's People's Procuratorate for its unlawful and deceptive actions in dragging Dorjee Tashi's retrial unnecessarily when he is not entitled to the imprisonment according to the Chinese law and constitution. Holding the letter from People's Procuratorate in Beijing, Gonpo mentions that she received the letter 7 or 8 years earlier from Beijing People's Procuratorate, stating that Dorjee Tashi's case will be retried within 3 months. 8 years later, his case has not been reviewed for retrial. Consequently, Gonpo has appealed to the so-called Tibet Autonomous Region Higher People's Court in Lhasa on numerous occasions, resulting in repeated assault and detentions until now without any ruling from the Chinese court. She is also seen showing bruises on her arms in another video recorded on 28 May 2024. For over 15 years, Dorjee Tashi has been jailed in a Chinese prison. Over the years, Dorjee Tashi's family members have been showing grave concerns over his health conditions due to series of torture and beatings he has been subjected. Besides numerous requests for a free trial and a revision of the case, he continues to remain behind bars. His family has been denied visiting him in prison, and appeals to higher authorities proved futile. Dorjee Tashi was initially arrested on 10 July 2008 on suspicion of making donations to Tibetans in exile and providing funding to Tibetan protesters in Tibet. He was sentenced to life imprisonment on 17 May 2010. That is all for this week's edition. See you in the next episode. Have a good weekend.